Hi, it's James from Hidden Depths Coaching. Thought I'd do a wee video message on, as it's come to the end of September, we're coming to the end of Suicide Awareness Month, which is, I've seen a lot of things getting shared on Facebook, and it is great to see how people's perception of this is changing. I've been a life coach now for about two years now, doing it full time for the last, say, 7 or 8 months. But all of this, the reason I came into coaching was because of that same thing. Probably when I was about 30 it started to happen, but when I was 33 that I ended up having depression. And, you talk about suicide, it's suicidal thoughts, it's a thing that you don't really, it's not a thing you go and share with people, your friends, your family, it's something that you keep very, very personal. But, just on my own personal experience on it, I thought maybe I'd share a wee bit on it. I don't talk about it often, but if it can maybe help somebody, because I'm now coming 42, I'm helping people, get out of anxiety, I'm helping people better their lives. I'm a full-time coach, seminars are going from strength to strength. And I believe it's because, what I had to go through personally myself and then what I learned in that journey. And, sometimes it's just to see that somebody's already did it that can help you get through it, and what I'm trying to do is come up with quicker, really fast ways to get people to believe in themselves and get them past this feeling of not understanding what's going on in their mind. Well, as I said, the first time when I wouldn't say depression created what I would call suicidal thoughts. I'd say they came from when you get anxiety, and anxiety is when you're starting to fight out the depression. Depression's a kind of numb. Don't want to speak to your family, don't want to speak to your friends, don't want to speak to anybody, but you can't go on like that forever, so you start to push your way out of it. You go to doctors. I can mind getting numerous blood tests because I kept losing weight, didn't know what was wrong with me, and then they discovered that I had depression. I fought on with that for years, and I can mind being at Aberdeen, first time I was ever up to Aberdeen, and was up there staying myself, and I was only sleeping like about an hour a night. I can mind thinking, I can't do this for much longer. It must have went about 5 or 6 months, and I was sitting at probably about 3 in the morning. I just went out and just sat at the beach, and that was probably the most calculated I ever felt. That I thought, I can't get past this. There's just no way out. So would I say I contemplated suicide? No, you just didn't want to carry on, and you thought if this is the way your life was going to be all your life, then you would carry on. But I think it's all to do with your family and everybody else that kind of sways that decision whatever way you go. But that was probably what I'd say the toughest times in my life. And then I actually got better. I started doing a lot more things. I started getting into a bit more about coaching. And I must admit, I probably went the next couple of years really pushing forward, but it was a lot of effort. And then what I would say was probably the closest, and this is why I'm saying the mind's a very, very delicate thing. I was back in Aberdeen again, funny enough. I think that's got a real link to it. And I was driving back up my Sunday, and this was about 2 years after what I thought I'd get over the worst of it. And then, it was the day that I heard that Gary Speed, the football manager, had killed himself. And I can remember that sticking in my head going, look at this guy with a family, with kids, obviously a good job, good fit, good looking guy. And I thought, how could he have done that? And it just rattled my brain. And I can remember that night being up in a bed and breakfast in Aberdeen on my own. They just gave me the key, and I was just sitting there, and for probably about 10 minutes these thoughts just kept streaming into my head that it would be the best option to do. And then luckily enough I got a phone call from a friend who obviously I'll not name, and it was just getting that call at that time that managed to interrupt my pattern and kind of change that. But it does show you how delicate the mind is, that you couldn't get to that bit, that you think, it'd be easier to leave than what it would to stay. So, anybody that gets to that bit, you're not really in control of what's going on, and you just feel as if it's never going to end. Well, what I can say is it does end, and I must admit, I've done a lot of things at the start hard, and I think there's an easier way of doing this. And the best way I can describe it, when depression and anxiety gets a hold of you, imagine that a train's going about 100 miles an hour that way, That's what it feels like. Just there's no slowing it down, and you're so desperate to get back the way. You're so desperate to get happy and get upbeat, and this can really create this anxiety feeling inside you. So what I would ask you to do is, if a train's going 100 mile an hour that way, then the first thing you must do to get it to go that way is slow it down. Simplify your life. Start looking at what's important, what's not important. About 30% of the stuff you do doesn't really matter. Stop doing it. Replace it with stuff that does matter. But do it slowly. And if you realise that everything in your life is temporary, that is a good thing to get in your mind, because all of this happens because you look at your past and your future and the now all at the same time, and it just totally overwhelms you. Just slow it down. Just looking at what you've got today, what's important today, and then start looking back in your past and start trying to pick out all the things that you've done. Try and appreciate where you are. You don't know the futures. We never know where it's going to go. We never know what's going to happen next. But it's this fear of the future and uncertainty, and then this dread of where you've been in the past. So what I'm trying to say is, from now, just look round about you, what you've got. Look back and where you've been. Look what you've already achieved. Start stacking that up, and then just have a bit of faith in the future. And I often describe this to clients that, imagine it was about 11 o'clock at night and you had a car, a sat nav and a postcode in Carlisle, say. You would get there by following that postcode, by following your sat nav. You would eventually get there in the right time. And it's a wee bit like your future, right? You don't know what's coming next. It's same with driving that car to Carlisle. You don't know what roads are coming next. You'll just follow what comes ahead of you, and that's what you need to do here in life. Just follow what comes ahead. Just trust how you feel, because for you to get to that low place that you ended up getting to, it's because you ignored your feelings for far too long. That's what I did. I just ignored who I wanted to be for too long. And then once you get to this bit that you want to find out who you are, first, as I say, look back and where you've been. Appreciate it. Realise that all you've got is, the now. Everything's temporary. Where you're feeling amazing or feeling crap, it is a temporary emotion. And from here, if you can just trust that your path's going to unfold, if you start to trust who you are. But as I say, listen, I understand how anybody's feeling if they're down at that bit, but I also understand that it's a quicker process than you think to get out of it. Don't overwhelm yourself with all of this uncertainty, the future and the past. Gather it, be truthful with it, be general with it, look at what matters, let go of everything that doesn't matter, and I can tell you that's a lot of things, and then just try and live that day by day feeling. And it will work out. And, I'm saying that with a big smile on my face. My life is really simple and really good now. And if somebody had told me this like 7 years ago, that this is what I'd be living today, then I would, I'd think they were absolutely insane. And this is just the start of it. It's going to get better and better and better. But as I say, just at the end of September, because there's a lot of awareness on this, but what I would like to put awareness on is not so much on suicide itself. Nobody will ever know the reasons why somebody takes and makes that decision. But what I would like to focus on is all the people that have been really down and now really living their life. That's the example that you need for moving forward. And if you can just follow their example, success leaves clues. You will get to where you want to get to. Anyway, this is James from Hidden Depths Coaching. I hope you've enjoyed this wee video link. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.